has already begun fighting for you. Battles are being won in rooms you've never entered. Attacks are being intercepted before they reach your name. What felt confusing in the natural has been strategic in the spiritual. Now, as you step into this divine moment, I invite you to declare your readiness. Type Amen in the comments as a sign of faith, as a bold statement that you choose God's path for your life. And stay with me until the end, because we will close with a prayer that speaks protection and strength over your day. There are seasons in life when everything seems fine on the outside. The bills are paid, the smile holds, the calendar is full, but deep inside something feels unsettled. It's not anxiety, it's not fear, it's discernment. A gentle, holy unease in your soul that something around you isn't as harmless as it appears. God is speaking now, chosen one, not in thunder, not in flashes of fire, but in a whisper that brushes against your spirit and urges you to look again. A trap has been set, not dramatic, not loud, but subtle, disguised in opportunity, wrapped in comfort, hidden behind the things you've prayed for. It may look like a door you've long waited to walk through, a connection that feels too perfect, a moment that seems heaven-sent. But not every open door was opened by God. Some were designed to derail you. The enemy is not after your comfort. He's after your calling. And he knows if he can't destroy you, he'll distract you. He'll plant seeds of confusion that grow into detours. He'll dress up delays as destiny. He'll send the wrong people with the right words, the wrong deals with the right timing. And if you're not anchored in God's voice, you'll trade your future for a counterfeit. This is not about fear. This is about clarity. This is about the mercy of God, who shows you the trap before you step into it. He did it for Joseph when he was tempted in secret. He warned Pilate's wife in a dream before Jesus was sentenced. He called to Samuel in the night, and now he's calling to you. This moment is not random. It was set in motion long before you knew to pray for it. Ephesians 2:10 says, "For we are God's masterpiece, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do." That means your steps have been planned, your seasons have been ordered. And yes, even this very warning was scheduled into your story. Right now, you're standing at a sacred checkpoint, one decision away from either divine release or unnecessary delay. But the God who sees the end from the beginning is not just calling you out, he's calling you up. Up into greater discernment, up into protection, up into destiny. You've felt the tension, haven't you? That strange combination of expectation and resistance. The sense that something big is just ahead, but the weight on your shoulders keeps getting heavier. That's not coincidence, that's spiritual pressure. And it's always heaviest before breakthrough. Remember when Jesus was led into the wilderness? Right before his ministry began, right before miracles poured out of him, he faced the enemy in silence and solitude. That's not just history. That's prophecy for your own life. The greater the call, the greater the confrontation. But here's the promise. The enemy may try to lure you with half-truths, but God will cover you with whole grace. Do not mistake the delay for denial. Do not mistake the silence for absence. God is not late. He is strategic. He is precise. And he's positioning you not just for protection, but for promotion. The pressure you feel is proof of what you're carrying. And this breakthrough, hear me, it's not just about you. It's about your children, your legacy, the chains that end with you, the healing that begins with you. That's why the battle has intensified. Because what God is about to birth through you is generational. Before every promised land, there is always a wilderness. Before every blessing, a test. And before every elevation, a trap. One that doesn't appeal to your weakness, but to your desire. It will feel familiar, it will feel right, but it will quietly lead you away from what God has spoken. It was never just about the fruit in Eden, it was about trust. Eve didn't eat because she hated God, she ate because she doubted him. Did God really say? That whisper still travels through time. You've heard it too, in the moments where you question what you knew was right, in the seasons where your feelings drown out your faith. But you are not powerless, you are not abandoned, you are not walking blind. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the grave lives within you, and that Spirit leads, convicts, and covers. Stay close to that voice. Let it be louder than your fear, your feelings, or your own understanding. Proverbs 3:5-6 tells us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." That's not just good advice, that's a strategy for survival. So pause, take the time to weigh your next step. Not everything good is God, not every open door is divine, and not every delay is a denial. Sometimes it's grace. You are on the edge of something holy. The tension you feel isn't punishment, it's preparation. God is clearing your path, stripping away what won't serve your future, and calling you to choose obedience over convenience. Because obedience always unlocks what effort alone never could. You've come this far, and now the path grows quiet. Heaven is not absent, it's intentional. In this moment, God is not asking you to figure it all out. He's asking you to trust fully, blindly, without needing a map. You may not understand the delay. You may feel the ache of unanswered questions and the silence that stretches longer than expected. But this silence, it's sacred. This is the kind of stillness where battles shift in your favor without your hands ever lifting a sword. Obedience is not just a virtue, it's a shield. It places your life under divine jurisdiction where heaven fights for you in ways you'll never see. Every time you resist the urge to rush, to fix it on your own, to speak out of fear or act out of impulse, you are stepping behind God's covering. And in this world full of noise and speed, choosing stillness is an act of war. Think of the Israelites at the Red Sea. Chaos behind them, impossibility ahead. But God didn't shout, "Run." He said, "Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord." Exodus 14:13. And in that stillness, the waters parted. Sometimes, the greatest miracles begin in a pause. You may feel that stillness now, the unsettling quiet where nothing seems to move. But make no mistake, this is not stagnation, this is strategy. God is working behind the curtain of your life. There are conversations unfolding in rooms you're not in, plots forming that will never reach you because he's already intercepting what was meant to wound you. That closed door, that missed call, that cancelled meeting, you saw a disruption, but God saw a setup. What you think is rejection is often God's mercy in disguise. He's not withholding, he's protecting. Like a parent who yanks their child back just before a car speeds past. The child may cry, confused by the sudden pull, but the parent knows that's what your Father is doing now, pulling you back from unseen collisions. You only see the surface, but God sees the spirit behind the offer, the friend whose words seem warm, but whose heart is cold, the opportunity that looks like favor, but hides compromise. The enemy knows how to imitate light. He's studied your prayers, your patterns, your preferences. So he packages deception in what looks like destiny. It's why discernment matters more than desire. Not everyone walking with you is walking for you. Some people were assigned not to support, but to observe, to drain your strength while clapping for your success. And God, in His mercy, is stripping the veil. He's revealing false friendships, shallow alliances, and quiet betrayals. This exposure isn't meant to embarrass, it's meant to preserve. Don't fight to keep what God is cutting away. Some connections can't carry the weight of your future, and if you insist on dragging dead weight into the next chapter, it will break you. You prayed for clarity. This is the answer. It just didn't come the way you expected. Yes, it hurts. The silence, the space, the shift. But what if the isolation you feel is actually a sanctuary? Think of Elijah under the broom tree, alone and weary, ready to give up. God didn't shame him. He sent rest, then whispered in the stillness, not in fire, not in earthquake. In a gentle breeze, 1 Kings 19. That's how heaven speaks, in fragile moments, not through force, but through presence. You may feel abandoned, but you're actually being set apart. God is removing the noise, not because He's far away, but because He's drawing you closer. What feels like exile is actually intimacy. What feels like distance is a divine recalibration. Before He launches you, He isolates you, not to punish, but to prepare. Moses knew that desert, so did David in the caves. So did Jesus in the lonely place of Gethsemane. This is where purpose is purified. And have you noticed lately how your appetite for certain things has changed? People you used to crave time with now drain you. Places that once felt like home now feel heavy. Dreams you used to chase no longer stir your spirit. That's not depression, that's divine sedation. Before surgery, doctors use anesthesia not to harm, but to protect, to numb the pain while something toxic is being removed. God is doing the same with your heart. He's disconnecting you emotionally from what no longer belongs spiritually. That sudden disinterest, that heaviness in your spirit, it's heaven preparing you for release. So when they ask, why don't you reach out anymore? Or why aren't you excited about that anymore? You don't need to explain, just know this. Something holy is happening within you. You are being rewired for the next level. This is not the end. This is the pause before the rise. Closed doors are not punishments, they're protection. Withdrawn people are not always enemies. Sometimes they are assignments completed, and when God ends a season, He does it with precision. He sees what you can't. He hears what was said behind your back. He knows the heart behind the handshake. And He moves swiftly, silently, and supernaturally. You're not being left behind. You're being lifted above. God is aligning your next steps with His perfect plan, even if it means pulling you back to push you forward. That delay, it saved you. That silence, it shielded you. That disappointment, it delivered you from disaster. So don't resent this pause. Don't fear this quiet place. What feels like a dead end is actually the beginning of something sacred. You are not forgotten. You are being fashioned. Heaven hasn't gone quiet. Heaven is drawing near. And when the time is right, when your spirit is steady and your vision is clear, God will speak one word: go. And no trap will stop you. No imitation will fool you. No counterfeit will distract you. Because what's ahead was made for you. And this time you'll walk into it with eyes open, heart guarded, and heaven behind you. And now, beloved, as the whisper of heaven still lingers around you, know this: God doesn't just warn his children, he prepares them. You're not just standing in front of a choice, you're standing before a threshold. What's ahead is not casual, it's sacred. And if you're going to walk in it with strength, you must walk in wisdom. A message like this, no matter how powerful, only becomes transformational when it turns into practice, when what stirred your soul begins to shape your steps. God is not calling you to live in fear. He's calling you to walk with clarity, with maturity, with discernment, sharpened by quiet moments and decisions rooted in faith, not emotion. So let this be your next movement, not a sprint, but a steady, sacred rhythm. Heaven is laying before you not just encouragement, but instruction. These aren't just good ideas, they are survival tools for a soul set apart. First, learn the sacred power of pause. Before you reply to that message, agree to that plan, chase that opportunity, or revisit that relationship, pause. Don't rush because your emotions beg for action. Don't react because someone else creates a false sense of urgency. Learn to be still enough to ask, Holy Spirit, is this you? This is not passivity. This is alignment. Jesus never moved in panic, even when the crowd pressed in or the storm rose around him. His pace was always perfect because his decisions came from connection, not chaos. That pause you practice daily becomes your place of hearing, and that hearing will save you from years of wandering. Second, protect your vision by guarding your circle. Not everyone who smiles is safe. Not everyone who claps is loyal. There are dream stealers disguised as confidants. There are spirits sent not to comfort you but to monitor you. From this moment on, begin to treat the vision God gave you like a seed. Seeds aren't planted in public, they're covered in secret. You don't need to explain your next move to people who weren't called to walk with you. Start paying attention. Do their presence strengthen your peace or confuse your clarity? Jesus often healed in silence. He raised Jairus' daughter with only a few trusted witnesses in the room. Why? Because the miraculous needs the right atmosphere, so does your calling. Third, cleanse your spirit daily. Every day, take 10 minutes. You don't need a church or a crowd, just an open heart. Renounce confusion, cut ties with anything misaligned. Pray honestly. Lord, if this isn't from you, take it away. If this isn't for me, break the bond. If this isn't my road, redirect my steps. This is not dramatic, it's decisive. Your spiritual hygiene determines your clarity. The enemy works in subtle attachments, not just obvious sins. And heaven responds to a heart that chooses alignment over attachment. Fourth, develop the rhythm of discernment. Discernment is not mysterious. It's built through practice. Feed your spirit. Saturate your mornings with scripture. Let Psalms quiet your mind. Let Proverbs sharpen your wisdom. Replace scrolling with silence. 1 hour less online could mean 1 moment more in divine clarity. Fast once a week, even for 1 meal, not to twist God's arm, but to tune your soul. Because when you silence your flesh, your spirit hears better. The more you know His voice, the less you fall for imitations. Fifth, become a steward of your emotions. Don't make choices from wounded places. Don't sign agreements when you're exhausted, lonely, or angry. The enemy doesn't just use temptation, he uses timing. He waits until your heart is vulnerable, then disguises the trap as comfort. You must train your spirit to pause long enough to outweight the impulse. Write down your emotions. Bring them into prayer before you bring them into action. Let your reactions be transformed into responses, and those responses into wisdom. Sixth, Honor boundaries as holy. If God is closing a door, honor it. If He is distancing you from someone, don't chase them. If He is asking for silence, don't overshare. If He is slowing you down, stop sprinting. Boundaries are not punishment. They are protection for the promise. When the Spirit leads, He also blocks. Ask Balaam. He was ready to go where he wanted until the angel of the Lord stood in the path with a drawn sword. Numbers 22. What you see as an obstacle may be your rescue. And finally, create a sacred moment of gratitude each day. Not just for the blessings you can see, but for the battles you never had to fight. Thank Him for the closed doors. Thank Him for the relationships that quietly ended. Thank Him for the delays that made no sense at the time. Gratitude transforms your posture. It shifts your heart from grasping to resting, from questioning to trusting. It is the quiet act of saying, even when I don't see the full picture, I know the artist. Beloved, these are not just suggestions. These are spiritual protocols, simple enough for your daily life, powerful enough to shape your destiny. They don't make the battle disappear, but they keep your armor on. They don't erase the opposition, but they ensure you're never walking alone. God isn't just asking for your belief. He's inviting you into rhythm, a way of living that is less about fear and more about flow, less about performance and more about presence. And if you follow this path with faithfulness, no scheme, no shadow, and no storm will undo what He is building in you. And now pause and sense it. The air is shifting. The weight in the Spirit is real. You've come through the valley. You've sat in silence. You've obeyed when it cost you. And now, without fanfare, without noise, you've arrived at the edge of something sacred. What comes next isn't just a step forward, it's a crossing. And when you look back one day, you'll understand why those doors had to stay shut, why certain voices faded, and why the waiting room felt so long. God wasn't withholding from you. He was protecting the promise, polishing your perspective, and positioning your soul for a level you weren't ready for until now. This is it, the tipping point. The final test before transformation. Not just promotion in the eyes of man, but elevation in the eyes of heaven. What you've endured, what you've battled behind closed doors, what only God saw, none of it was wasted. All of it was weight training for the mantle you're about to carry. But be careful, this is holy ground. A misstep here isn't just a detour, it can delay decades. One emotional reaction, one decision rooted in fear, one compromise disguised as convenience, and you risk losing momentum that took years to build. This isn't fear, it's clarity, and clarity is mercy. Heaven is asking, are you willing to walk away from what's familiar to embrace what's divine? Can you say no to what's good so you can say yes to what's God? This is your Jordan River moment, the place where obedience outweighs logic, where one step can change everything. Think of the priests carrying the Ark of the Covenant. The waters didn't part until their feet touched the edge. Joshua 3. Faith didn't get the miracle, it triggered it. You're not stuck, you're not forgotten. You're being pulled back like an arrow, not for delay, but for release. And when God lets go, it won't be slow, subtle, or small. It will be sudden, swift, unstoppable. Heaven is not planning your breakthrough, it's already in motion. While you sleep, God is writing. While you wait, He is at war on your behalf. You may not see it, but all of heaven is mobilized. Angels are being sent, strategies are shifting. Spiritual traps are being disarmed, systems are being rearranged for your arrival. God is going to war for your future, and the battlefield is not your strength, it's your obedience. Like the servant of Elisha, whose eyes were opened to see the hills filled with horses and chariots of fire. 2 Kings 6. Your natural sight may say, I'm surrounded. But the Spirit of God says, there are more for you than against you. You're not outnumbered, you're covered. This is not just a hard season, it's a defining one. You're standing at a crossroads that shapes decades. What you choose now won't just impact you, it will echo through generations. That's why the resistance is so fierce. That's why the temptation is so subtle. The enemy knows what's on the line, but so does God, and he is not whispering, he is speaking with precision. You've prayed for a sign. This is it. He's not vague, he's not silent, he's giving you the way of escape before the snare tightens. One decision rooted in obedience can break the back of generational bondage. One yes to God in this moment can rewrite the entire story. Not later. Now. Will you trust his voice over the noise? Will you wait when everything in you wants to move? Will you obey when every emotion begs for reaction? This is more than a warning. It's an invitation into transformation. You won't just survive the storm, you'll emerge unshaken, appointed, and aligned. And while you rest, yes, even in the stillness, heaven does not. God doesn't clock out at midnight. He doesn't fold his arms when you sleep. No, he writes, he restores, he reroutes, he rescues. Even when the room is dark, he is reauthoring your narrative. Even when your hands are empty, his are full of what's next. You may have cried prayers into a pillow, but he collected everyone. He doesn't waste tears, he weaves them into turning points. Remember Joseph, forgotten in a prison cell. But in one night, God moved him from captivity to the palace, Genesis 41. That's the kind of shift only God can do. What took others decades, he can do in a moment. Not by force, not by formula, but by favor. So, tonight, rest. Rest in the truth that your future is not falling apart, it's falling into place. The no you received was a better yes in disguise. The delay you feared is God's divine editing room. He's not changing his mind. He's perfecting his timing. You are not drifting. You are being drawn. And yes, sometimes he has to drag you out, not because you're rebellious, but because you're precious. Just like Lot had to be pulled out of Sodom before destruction came, Genesis 19, God is extracting you forcefully, lovingly from places, relationships, and patterns that looked harmless but were dangerous to your calling. That heaviness, that loss, that distance from people you thought were permanent, it's not abandonment, it's extraction. It won't always feel kind, but it will always be holy. God is removing what threatens your purpose, and though you might grieve in the moment, you will thank him in the next chapter. This is your exodus, your leaving behind of what no longer serves your assignment. And have you noticed something else? You don't talk as much anymore. You felt it, the pull to be silent, the lack of desire to explain, the quiet shift in your spirit that makes you hold your words, even when you could justify yourself. That's not emotional fatigue, it's divine restraint. Heaven is silencing you, not to mute you, but to protect the blueprint. Some miracles must be hidden until they're whole. Jesus himself often said, "Tell no one after healing." Why? Because revelation without timing invites sabotage. Your silence is not weakness, it's warfare. Lions don't roar when they hunt, they move in silence until it's time to strike. That's what God is doing with you, covering you, concealing you, until the day he says, "Now speak." And when he does, it won't be for defense, it'll be for declaration. This quiet is preparation for your loudest season yet. So stand still, but stand ready. Don't rush the process. Trust the tension. The tighter the pull, the greater the launch. Heaven is not just behind you, it's surrounding you. And the next time you wake up, you'll be one sunrise closer to seeing the promise with your own eyes. You are not being held back. You're being prepared for release. And now, as the hush of this season settles around you like a blanket, heaven continues its work, quietly, but with fierce intention. You've been spared from more than you know. Doors that closed without warning, people who drifted without explanation, connections that unraveled before you could understand why. What looked like sudden endings were actually divine interceptions. Conversations were cut off, agendas exposed. You didn't hear the whispers, but heaven did, and God stepped in before the betrayal could strike. Some knives never reached your back, because God never let them leave the hand. You may feel the sting of separation, but don't miss the protection in it. God allows glimpses not to punish you, but to set you free, to lift the curtain just enough for you to see what you couldn't before. Not all betrayal leaves blood. Some simply leave silence, and silence, when sent by God, is a shield. This season of divine severing may feel confusing. Strange tensions, sudden distance, unspoken shifts. But these aren't accidents, they're assignments. God is drawing a protective circle around your purpose, and inside that circle, not everyone can stand. Your calling is too costly to be contaminated, your heart too sacred to be placed in unclean hands. Later, you'll look back and thank Him not for what He gave, but for what He removed. The ones He cut off weren't just distractions, they were spiritual liabilities, time bombs dressed as blessings. The absence you feel now is the storm that never touched you. What you called loss was actually an act of mercy. And as your circle shrinks, your clarity sharpens. Don't mourn the pruning. Pruning is not punishment, it's preparation for fruit. As Jesus said in John 15:2, "Every branch that bears fruit, He prunes, that it may bear more." And God, the master gardener, is cutting back what looked alive but couldn't carry you forward. You're not being delayed, you're being deepened. Every pause, every postponement, every redirection is part of a grander design. What feels like waiting is really working. You see minutes ticking by. God sees roots growing down. You look at the clock. God looks at the